Diamond watches, paintings, all items that will be appraised at this Friday's appraisal day at Cloverwood. Hannah is there this morning to see how you can get your items appraised, and it's all for a good cause. Hey, Hannah.
Hey guys, yeah, you think about things you might have lying around your house that have been around for years, but do you actually know what they're worth? Paul Casarino from Gem Lab is an expert gemologist. Honestly, Paul, I never knew there was such a thing.
Oh, the field of gemology has been around for over 100 years.
Wow. Just like the items that you appraise.
Yep, some of these are.
So it all works. Wow, talk about some of the items that people will bring on Friday and some of the items we have this morning.
Well, people will bring modern jewelry, but they'll also bring older pieces that they've inherited, like this watch. This is a Swiss pocket watch that we can see is clearly marked as 18 karat, and actually in very good condition physically. However, it doesn't work. So when I value this, I have to keep that in mind, that the gold may be worth $1,000, but if it were an operational watch, it could be worth $3,000 to $4,000. So I will definitely advise this client get an estimate to see what it would cost to repair a watch like this, because it has a great effect on its value.
Okay, when you go, honestly, I don't know the process of what an appraiser does, what you look for. When you pick this watch up, what are you looking for initially? How do you instantly know? You've got, of course, the cool eyewear. But what are you looking for in that?
Well, I look at the hallmarks. On the inside of the watch, we can see 18K stamped on the inside of the watch. That tells me that the watch itself is made of 18 karat gold. I can also look at the movement on the inside and see the name engraved on the bridge called Dubois and Fils. This is Dubois and Sons. It's a Swiss manufacturer of very fine pocket watches. So that's some of the evidence that gives me an idea of what I'm looking at, the engravings which are on the piece itself.
So let's compare it to this one. Not to hurt anyone's feelings who these belong to. Of course, I think these were donated for the show by some folks here and by some folks in the community. This one you say is...
This is a cute little pendant watch. We can see it's got a little bit of black enamel on the surface of it, and it's a pretty dial here. However, this watch is not made of solid gold. It's gold filled. Oh. So it's just a thin coating of gold over a brass material. We can also see on the back side that it's a key-driven movement, which means a key like this is used to either set the time or wind it. So you have to keep track of that as well.
Oh, gosh.
Now, even though this one is operational, but because it's not gold, it's only worth maybe $200 to $300.
And do you have any idea what the other one would be worth? If it worked.
If the 18-karat watch worked, it would be in the $3,000 to $4,000 range.
Wow. But because it doesn't work, that drops its value quite a bit.
Yeah, basically just the value of the gold, which is around
$1,000. Why did you? Okay. What is it about appraising items that fascinates you?
I really love the detective aspect of it, of looking at something unknown and trying to figure out what it's all about. I've studied the history of jewelry making and gemstone cutting, so very often I can get an idea of something's age based on how the gemstones are cut. When I look at this particular diamond ring right here, I can see by the cutting of the stones that it's relatively modern. These stones were cut around the 1930s. A different style of cutting would indicate an earlier date for the cutting of the gemstones. Also, this ring is decorated with blue enamel, which was very typical of the 1930s. So that gives us an idea of how we can age this particular ring.
Wow. Makes you think about what you have at home, what might be worth something and what's worth absolutely nothing. A big goose egg. I'll toss it back to you in the studio. We'll be back with more appraising here at Cloverwood.
All right, it is fun to watch him do his work. Hey, you know what? This is the news that many of us have been waiting for. Nutritionists now say we should be drinking more coffee. We'll have that coming up.
It's a fruit?
Yeah,
Yesterday was National Coffee Day, and I read that it was a fruit.
Tomatoes are fruit.
I didn't read more about it, but I thought that's intriguing.